Okay, hello. This is an unusual video, but I'm going to be talking over and showing you my Terraria Master World. I played this with three other friends, and we beat Terraria on Master Mode, or maybe it's Expert, actually. Whatever the hardest difficulty is. And I'm just going to take you through the world, and I'm just going to show it to you, because why not? That's what I felt like doing. So right here, we just have an arena made for Duke Fishtron. There's a bunch of just arenas scattered around this world just for like random boss fights we had to do. Because you just can't do the boss fights in Master Mode without an arena. Even with 4 people, it's like impossible. And you may notice there's a chunk of sand missing here. Well, that's because we mined it all. I don't know what the glass is for, but it was probably something that we didn't need. And our desert is corrupted, so we couldn't mine that. As I sort of go through the little gaps in the world here, I'm just going to give you some little insider information and just fun stuff about the world. But right here, we have the first stop. This is, as you can see, the teleporter here that goes to our main base. We'll get to that later. This leads into our dungeon, which, as you can see, goes an insanely far ways down. It takes so unbelievably long to get here. Like, it is... Look at that roll. It's horrible. Once you get down there, it's a lot better, but... Jesus, it is so bad. And then, as I'm sure you have already noticed, there's this hole over here. And there was a boss fight, don't remember which one, where one of our friends had to leave, and when he had to leave, he was going to come back in 15 minutes, and we just decided, me and another guy, we were just going to throw bombs down here until he got back. So that's why this is here. I think we made a pretty good dent, if I do say so myself. I did say there were 4 of us in total, but there was one other guy who would occasionally come by. He was like the side character. Oh yeah, and this up here, you may see Baden was murdered by vile spit. February 27th, huh? Yeah, you're gonna see gravestones just scattered around this world because you die a tremendous amount of times when playing this. Like, it's insane. Here is another boss fight arena for Skeletron and I don't remember the cultists, whatever these guys are called. I'm not gonna kill them because I don't want to start the end game. But yes, once again, more gravestones. And just to let you keep in mind, we pick up like so many of these gravestones as the world went on. Like, you die in absurd. I wouldn't be surprised if our total deaths was over 1,000 for all of us. Like, it is absolutely brutal. If you want to know what it's like, boot up Terraria World on Master Mode, and then just try and survive for a bit, because slimes will kill you. Everything is horrible. First night, we literally will just being killed by everything. It is a brutal experience. I highly recommend playing it with friends. But as you can see, our world is a large portion of it is a corruption. It's not that horrible, but it's definitely getting worse and worse. I don't remember what the percentage is. It's way too much is what it is. We tried to fix it like everybody else does, and then you realize it's literally impossible, so then you just sort of let it be. And that was our plan. I think we're right below... Ah, yes. So this is a little farming base me and a friend made to get the turtle shells. But then we realized we weren't low enough, and then we had to go down even further, and then we finally started to get them. That was very good for me and my friend, as you can see, we have full defense stuff. The way it worked is through the 4 of us. 2 of us were tanks, and 2 of us were just damage dealers. I was one of the tanks. I don't mean to brag or anything, but I didn't die 1,000 times during boss fights. Don't mean to brag or anything. Oh, I forgot that I turned into a fish. But yeah, then I did no damage, and me and the other guy just had to survive while we had to wait for the other 2 to revive and start dealing damage. Because literally, I just use the SMG here, and then I just shoot with chlorophyte bullets to auto-target the enemies. Like, I don't do that much damage. I'm just there to survive so the boss doesn't disappear. Here's the hollow, which makes up like 1% of the world. It's mostly just corruption. Little farming base. Hey, look at that. Neodude was decapitated by a prismatic bolt. February 20th, 2022. Awesome. Okay, yep, back to Horrid. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say between the worlds. There is one big main... Oh yeah, and if you have enough of these gravestones around, they start to make, let's see, these little graveyards. That's why you have to pick them up. I should start reading them. Goku's body was mangled. Oh, Goku, hey. Look at that. Oh, that's not even the right thing. That was the guy who helped out. Occasionally. He couldn't really... Listen, it was scheduling problems. Here is our boss fight arena for... Who was this? Eater of Worlds, I think. I think it's the only time we used this. Might have used it... No, it was just used for Eater of Worlds. And down here is something that I made myself as a little project. This is just graves. This doesn't even account for 1% of the deaths, I would imagine. Because I did this for a very short period of time where I collected gravestones. Like, not even 1%. It is unbelievably brutal. And if you looked here, you will see that there is a massive little crevice going down here to try and separate our world from the corruption until we realized the corruption was here. And then we decided to cut it off here. We sort of just kept going down because it was fun, and there was really no practical purpose to doing it. But once again, when you wait for boss fights and you have nothing else to do because everything in the world will kill you, this is just kind of what you do, you know? Oh yeah, and I suppose I'll give this story here. So here you have this platform here, and you may be wondering, Noah, why is this platform so ridiculously long? Well, I'll tell you why. Because in the Wall of Flesh, when you have to kill it, even with 4 people, it has to be that long. Otherwise, you won't be able to kill the Wall of Flesh. It's this, look at how unbelievably long this is. And even you kill them right around this area, it takes such an unbelievably long time. And I would like to say, I was the one who built this, and I told them it needed to be longer initially, but they're like, we're fine, we can fight the Wall of Flesh. And I was right, alright? That's all I really wanted to say there. Let us get to the main attraction, which is our base. I missed that. And as you can see, we have something that I did absolutely nothing for. This is a potions farm. Don't know what any of these things make or do anything. I would just ask for a potion and one of the guys would make it, which was awesome. But I have no responsibility. I did make this, however, so this little guy, I don't remember what his name is, but he sold something that I needed. I think it was like, might have been mushroom armor, I'm not sure. But if we continue up here, we can see, oh, this is the tower defense little thing we have up here. Not too much to say. Yeah, it's just a long platform. There's not a whole lot there. This is the initial elevator. It takes you all the way down onto our little platform there, which is fantastic. All of the bases for our little people, they used to be right here until we moved them into the tree, which, as you can see, is the main base. And the guy who built this, like, I helped out with the backgrounds and stuff, like, I filled in a lot of stuff, but there was one guy who designed this. The entire time he's making this, like, guys, I'm sorry I'm not helping, I'm so fucking useless, as he's making, like, this beautiful goddamn structure. It was just funny. And then he also made the potions over here. Or that might have been another guy. Listen, I did the mining stuff. We had our different jobs. I don't know who did what exactly. Like I said, you just asked for a potion and somebody else would make it. What's in here? Yeah, just potion stuff. Or they'd tell me how to make it. It was not my department. I did move all these people in here, though, and I guess there's a lot of empty space, and I could have been more creative about it, but I don't really care. And here's one of the main attractions at the top. As you can see, up here, we have a strip club. Very cool, I know. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and here's always the fun part of about a base. When you kill enough of an enemy, you get a banner for it, and then it gives you a buff while you're near that banner. Here is all of our banners for the buffs we have. And this might not even be for all of the base, because the base is so big that the banners literally can't reach everywhere. So yeah, that's the stuff you get buffs from while you're in the base. And also, I sort of glossed over, we have a trophy room right here. As you can see, there wasn't enough room, so we had to expand it, and the trophy room used to be a lot smaller, but we've had to, like, dig out of the tree quite a bit more. But that's the trophy room, and as you can see, there's just a bunch of crap we just put on the walls. I think, yeah, this was all this stuff here in the bottom. I believe, I'm like 90% certain. Yeah, this is all my stuff. And then let's see. Okay, yeah, up here, let me just take you here. So the final boss, this is a platform we used for the first stage of him, where, let me see here. Essentially, the goal would be just to ride along this platform, and then you'd sort of shoot and throw your stuff out at the boss. Didn't work perfectly, but it worked well enough to the point where it didn't need to be fixed. And then for the second stage, we'd go down into our dedicated boss arena, which is where we put a lot of our buffs, a lot of our strong stuff. That's not right. Okay. I messed that up. But I should be able to fly over to the boss fight arena. Hopefully. Nope, I'm in the desert. Give me like 2 seconds. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Nope, I messed that up too. Well, I've messed up the entire video that nobody is going to watch. Anyways, here's the dedicated boss fight arena. As you can see, we have a bunch of... Oh, hey. What's up? We have a bunch of dedicated stuff, trophies, and over to the left of it, we have all of the different buffs you can get for extra mana, more damage, more ammo. This thing, which I think makes you stronger somehow. This thing gives you more summons. And there was one other thing that I think it increases your attack damage and it spawns in deserts. We searched a lot for it. We could not find one. So this is like most of the buffs in the game that you can get. Then you have honey at the bottom, and then campfires, all to restore your health, and little heart crystals here. Just a bunch of buffs that just make you a little bit stronger. Oh, and here is a banner that I made. Anyways, let's continue on here. So another thing you can do is you can land on these teleporters, and you can sort of make the boss go back and forth between you. And I got kind of good at juggling these things. I'm not too good at it anymore, but used to be able to go back and forth quite easily. And you do that while somebody was waiting for you to respawn. So now, as you can see, here's where I told you, yeah, our entire world, it is pretty much just corruption. At least in these parts, so we had no sand. Once again, don't know what the sand is for. Probably something important, but I couldn't say what. So there's not a lot on the right side of the world, but there is something at the very end that I think is very worthwhile in showing. Yeah, a lot of our building was on the center. I can tell fun stories about all our adventures that we had. On the first day, I was the strongest person because I had discovered a spear, and it would slightly knock back the enemies. Wasn't that good, though, because we still died a lot, and the slimes would, like, parachute down. It was dramatizing, all right? Listen. Oh, I can do that now. Yeah, cool. Where am I? Ah, jungle. I won't go down into the jungle, but as you can see, here is our boss fight arena for Terraria. And then here is the boss fight arena we had for the bees. One of the strategies I remember we'd use is, you can see in both of these, there's a little room here, and then even in this one too. Is this the little, this might be the little room here, I'm not sure. But, oh, I think it might be down there. Yeah, it's down there. Basically, what that room is for is you move the nurse into that room, so when you respawn, you can fully heal yourself, and then you respawn right in the boss fight arena. There's a cooldown on your life, though, so it wasn't perfect, but it did its job. And just, like I said, this is with 4 people, and we still had to use every optimizing strat we could just to get through all the boss fights. There's some more stuff you can do with potions that we didn't really touch, but still, there's like, there's a lot to do. It's a lot of fun, though. If you have a group of friends, I'd recommend playing Terraria Master Mode. But if you're alone and you're a sadist, then absolutely, yeah, go for it. Like, that's totally going to be your jam, then. I would never do this alone, though. That is not for me. If you do, though, props to you. And I think we're coming up on the last thing. This is where we mined a lot of the sand before the world was turned into corruption. And here is an aquarium that me and my friend made, who also helped build the house. So yeah, this is the aquarium we made.